Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Welcome. I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan.
And this is Connecting the Dots. Happy Tuesday. It is December 23rd, 2025.
We are in that magical but also slightly chaotic week leading up to the holidays.
Definitely chaotic. And if you're traveling, we really have to start with a quick check-in on the weather because it's having a huge impact, especially on the West Coast.
It truly is. We are watching a powerful atmospheric river event just unfold across California.
We love the water, but this is a lot.
It's a lot, and it's creating some real hazards. The systems are bringing massive rainfall, with the heaviest part expected tomorrow, Wednesday, right in the LA basin.
So if you're driving anywhere near the mountains this week, you've got to be cautious. The ground is saturated, which means the risks for flash flooding, mudslides,
rock slides,
they're not just potential anymore, they are very, very real.
And for anyone heading up to the Sierra Nevada,
expect several feet of heavy snow. Major travel delays. It's a week where weather is just dominating everything.
So the takeaway for you is pretty simple. If you're expecting deliveries or flying into any major West Coast hub, just anticipate disruptions, probably well into Friday.
A lot of water moving through a lot of important commerce routes.
Exactly.
Speaking of commerce, let's pivot quickly to the markets. It was a day of slow, steady movement, sort of that pre-holiday wind down.
Yeah.
Looking at yesterday's close, Tuesday, December 23rd, the Dow Jones closed up just a hair, plus 0.07% at 48,353 point back end.
And that small upward momentum was pretty much mirrored by the S&P 500. It closed up 0.14% at 6,882.14.
We see this a lot this week, right? A quiet drift upward as managers position themselves before the year wraps.
Absolutely. Finalizing their books for the year.
Bitcoin, however, decided to be the exception to the calm. It took a little bit of a volatile dip. It closed down 2.06%, settling at 86,707.64. A little drama there, but overall, the major indices are holding stable.
Before we jump into our look at the Morningstar report, we do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Old Glory.
Yes, and if you are still scrambling for those last-minute, impossible-to-find gifts,
especially for that techie friend who claims they already have everything,
Old Glory is the place to go. They are the iconic music and sports fan merchandise store.
They really do have the best gear for almost any fandom. And here's the best part for you. Old Glory is offering 15% off your entire purchase right now.
All you have to do is use our special promo code. That code is SNARFUL, that's SNARFUL, at checkout.
Find that perfect gift at oldglory.com. And remember to use the code SNARFUL.
All right, let's get into it. The three stories defining tech, geopolitics, and some very high-stakes finance today.
And we're starting with a massive AI coding development out of China that could fundamentally change the cost equation for enterprise software.
Let's unpack this. So a Chinese AI startup, MiniMax, has just released an upgraded open-source language model. It's called M2.1.
And the core story here really is that this model is focusing its power on making enterprise software development, well, more accessible and efficient for everyone.
Right, because for a long time, these AI coding models were fantastic if you were working in, say, Python.
Which is great for data science, web scripting, that kind of thing.
But complex global companies, they're built on these ecosystems of multiple, often very difficult languages.
Exactly. And that's what's different here. M2.1 made a really deliberate enhancement across the board.
We're talking about the major languages that power everything. Rust, Java, Golang.
C++, Kotlin.
Yeah.
It covers the complete development chain, from low-level systems all the way up to the application layer.
That is a huge industry shift. Previous models had this notorious weakness with non-Python code.
Especially for native mobile development.
Right, and MiniMax specifically targeted and strengthened native Android and iOS development with M2.1, which solves a massive pain point for so many companies.
And here's where it gets really interesting. They didn't just make it functionally better. They made it visually creative.
They're focusing on what they call design comprehension and aesthetic expression.
Or the much more fun term, vibe coding.
I love that. Vibe coding.
Right. It allows the model to move past just writing utility functions and into generating, highly visual, high-quality front-end designs.
The sources had some incredible examples, like generating a complex gesture interactive 3D Christmas tree.
Or that interactive iOS home screen widget with the sleeping Santa you could click to wake up. That's not simple stuff.
Not at all. That kind of capability changes who needs to be in the room for a project. If the AI can handle that foundational vibe coding, it shifts the role of the design engineer.
To more oversight and high-level concepts rather than pixel pushing.
And this advanced capability is just stunningly affordable. The original M2 model was already twice as fast as a competitor like Claude Sonnet 4.5.
At only 8% of the cost to run, that is what democratizes this technology.
That cost-speed advantage is everything.
And M2.1 doesn't just maintain that lead, it pushes it further. It now matches or even exceeds Claude Sonnet 4.5 on very specialized tasks, like generating test cases or conducting code reviews.
Plus, I saw they engineered the responses to be more concise.
Yes, which means the model uses fewer tokens.
Can you quickly break down what token consumption means for, say, a business's bottom line?
Absolutely. Think of tokens as the basic unit of cost and time. The fewer tokens the AI consumes to give you a quality answer, the cheaper and faster the whole process is.
So by making M2.1 more concise, they directly reduce the cost of engineering assistance.
Which makes it scalable for small dev teams anywhere.
Better, faster, and much cheaper. But the real game changer is what they're calling the digital employee.
This is where it moves beyond just coding assistance and into full end-to-end office automation.
Okay, so the model takes high-level text instructions.
And then it autonomously executes the steps by controlling the mouse and keyboard on the web.
Wait, I'm curious though. Historically, this kind of end-to-end automation has been just plagued with integration failures and security risks. Are they really solving that, or just the coding part?
That's a great question about long-term oversight. But for now, they're demonstrating capability. For example, you could tell it, collect all outstanding equipment requests from Slack, find pricing on 3 internal servers, calculate the total cost, and update the project management sheet.
And it handles all of that. The navigation, the data parsing, the updates, all on its own.
Exactly. It's moving AI from a tool you use for a task to a task.
Yeah.
An actual independent team member handling full workflows.
That has massive implications for team efficiency.
It's genuinely disruptive.
So if Story 1 showed us the race to code the future, Story 2 reveals the strategic competition over the physical hardware that powers it.
Specifically, the battle over autonomous chips. That's a perfect transition.
We're seeing a different kind of tech acceleration in China, focused squarely on autonomous driving.
And it's driven heavily by these geopolitical goals for independence.
Right. Despite some high-profile safety concerns like that fatal Xiaomi crash back in March, Chinese automakers are just accelerating development faster than ever.
And the key driver here is the push for full domestic chip independence.
The pace is breathtaking. Let's look at XPeng. They've just debuted an upgraded system, VLA 2.0, that's explicitly designed to surpass Tesla's FSD.
And the training data scale they used is it's astounding. They trained it on nearly 100 million video clips from real-world driving.
To put that in perspective, that's like, 65,000 years of experience for a human driver?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And that sheer volume allows the system to handle incredibly nuanced situations.
The detail that really stood out to me was its ability to recognize human gestures.
Oh, yeah. A construction worker signals the car to stop. It stops. They wave it through a chaotic intersection. It proceeds safely.
That requires contextual comprehension, not just seeing an obstacle.
And the competitive benchmarks show it. XPeng reported that VLA 2.0 needed 5 times fewer driver interventions compared to the version of Tesla's FSD available in China.
And this isn't just an XPeng thing. Volkswagen is already adopting this system.
Which brings us to the core tension. The chip race. The hardware is dominated by American suppliers. They hold 70% of the high-end autonomous chip market in China.
Beijing sees that as a strategic vulnerability, so they've set a very aggressive target.
Full domestic research and production of automotive chips by 2027.
That is less than 2 years away. Who's the key player making that possible?
Horizon Robotics. They're government-backed and have become the primary challenger. Their latest chip, the Journey 6, boasts 560 TOPS of computing power.
Okay, for our listeners, what does 560 TOPS mean in simple terms?
TOPS is tera operations per second. It's just a measure of the chip's processing power for AI tasks, image recognition, path planning.
And 560 is a lot.
It's an extremely high level of processing power, what you need to run the complex algorithms for full autonomy.
And this chip is already being integrated by major Chinese automakers.
And even international brands like Volkswagen and Bosch are using it for their vehicles sold in the Chinese market. It's smart maneuvering. It ensures they have a tech stack that works regardless of, say, U.S. trade limitations.
It's all about controlling the technological future of the industry. It's a national strategic competition.
So for a quick stats check here in the US, we hear self-driving all the time. But most consumer tech FSD, Blue Cruise, it's still level 2.
Meaning the driver has to constantly supervise the system.
Exactly. Level 3 is conditional hands-off driving, which is what China is pushing toward. Here, we only have limited L3 systems, like Mercedes Drive Pilot, and only in 2 states at low speeds.
And GM's Super Cruise is slated for a level 3 upgrade around 2028.
That's the plan. So while Xpeng is cloning a huge lead in interventions now, the real regulatory battle over L3 deployment is still ahead.
A race driven by both tech and geopolitics.
Okay, let's pivot entirely from self-driving chips to some very high-stakes corporate drama.
Our third story involves a hostile takeover battle that has huge implications for consumer choice and the future of film.
We're talking about Warner Bros. Discovery WBD and the fight for its soul between Netflix and a coalition led by Paramount Skydance.
So the WBD board is reviewing a hostile takeover bid from the Paramount Group.
A move that could completely derail the massive asset sale they'd previously planned with Netflix.
Let's just look at the financial stakes here because they are staggering. The original agreement, the Netflix deal, had an enterprise value of $82.7 billion.
And for that, Netflix was going to get the WBD studio, HBO, and HBO Max.
Massive consolidation.
And then the Paramount bid arrived. This is an all-cash offer for the entire company, $30 per share.
Which gives the deal an enterprise value of $108.4 billion.
I mean, that's roughly the GDP of a mid-sized nation trading hands over media assets.
It's $18 billion more in cash and 29% more value than the Netflix offer.
That's almost impossible for a board to ignore.
Especially since the financing is bulletproof. The Paramount offer is fully backstopped and personally guaranteed by Larry Ellison,
whose family trust holds over $250 billion in Oracle stock. That's certainty.
And they've pulled together a coalition of other heavy hitters: Redbird Capital, Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds, Jared Kushner's affinity partners.
They're not presenting a hypothetical bid. They're presenting a guaranteed one.
And the arguments they're making are fascinating. Paramount says their bid is pro-Hollywood, pro-consumer, and pro-competition.
Right. They say the combined company would target $6 billion in cost savings and instantly create a new streaming giant with 207 million subscribers.
And at the same time, they're attacking the Netflix deal, arguing it would solidify streaming domination and be harmful to the film and TV industry.
Specifically pointing to the threat it poses to theatrical releases.
Meanwhile, the WBD board is just stuck in the middle. They're advising shareholders to take no action for now.
They only have 10 business days to issue a formal recommendation on the Paramount offer.
So what does all this mean for you, the consumer? This fight really determines the shape of the media landscape.
If Netflix wins, prepare for massive consolidation, fewer places to sell big content, and probably higher subscription prices down the road.
And if Paramount wins,
it creates a new supergiant designed specifically to challenge Netflix's dominance. Theoretically, a more competitive environment, which could mean more choice for you and better deals for creators.
It is a high-stakes battle between consolidation and competition.
It really is. It's a cliffhanger.
Before we wrap up today, we do need to thank our second sponsor, Skony. If you are looking for the absolute premium gift for the golfer in your life, Skony is the premium golf shoe store.
They have exceptional style and performance. It'll elevate any game.
And just like with Old Glory, you can get 15% off your entire purchase right now by using our promo code.
Just use SNARFUL, that's SNARFUL at checkout.
Head over to skony.com and use the code SNARFUL to snag those savings on the perfect holiday gift.
All right, so to quickly recap the 3 stories that defined our day.
First, MiniMax M2.1 is radically changing the AI landscape. It's making high-end, multi-language coding accessible and enabling these autonomous digital employees.
Second, the global autonomous driving race is accelerating, especially in China, and it's driven by a fierce strategic competition over chip hardware and the push for level 3.
And finally, the future of Warner Bros. Discovery, and maybe the entire streaming industry, is being decided in a hostile $108 billion merger battle.
And the thread connecting all these is technological power. Who codes it, who builds the hardware for it, and who controls how it's distributed, that's who wins the next decade.
It really makes you wonder, if that Paramount bid succeeds and the new company cuts $6 billion in costs, how many of those jobs will be replaced by the very digital employees we just talked about?
A provocative thought to end the year on?
We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.